Well, welcome to Fans Banter. Just a little few Liverpool news items that caught my eye in the last while. It seems with Andy Robertson leaving at the end of the season and there's no natural backup for Kerkez, it seems like KOSTAS could be set for the return to Liverpool, as Roma have no interest in keeping him. Yeah, there's a strange one. Probably not a strange one for Liverpool because he's still a Liverpool player. And, it kind of makes perfect sense for KOSTAS to come back to Liverpool. He's not getting much game time at Roma. Just 1,038 minutes so far this season. So they're not pulling up trees wanting to keep him or looking to buy him or anything like that. He does have a year left on his contract at Liverpool, 2027 it's up. So do Liverpool bring him back, let him run down his contract and walk away as a free agent? Or do they try offload him somewhere and get a bit of cash? The cash you will get, will that replace Liverpool with a sort of a backup left full? Probably not. So I think in a perfect world it makes perfect sense. Maybe not for KOSTAS, to be quite honest, but in the Liverpool sense it makes perfect sense to bring KOSTAS back, keep him as a backup to Kerkez, play him in a couple of cup games the same way as they used to do when Andy Robertson was there. So yeah, KOSTAS back at Liverpool. What do you think? So, just on another thing that caught my eye, Dominic Szoboszlai. Dominic Szoboszlai apologises to Liverpool fans. And what is he apologising for? Well, for those who don't know, and there's probably very few Liverpool fans that don't actually know, Szoboszlai's antics at the end of the Man City game, where he was shrugging his shoulders and seemed to be giving a bit of being a big, I don't know, big dogs, after the game, looking for where's the support, where's the applause for the effort and stuff like that. Well, it looks like he has apologised, and Sinus says it was a misunderstanding of some description. it looked very clear to me, to be quite honest, Dominic, what you were at. But listen, he's backtracked on it. He says it probably a little bit misunderstanding, and he understands how much the club means to the fans and how much the fans mean to the club. So yeah, a little apology from Dominic Szoboszlai, and he urges fans to believe that Liverpool can overcome PSG tonight in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. Bit of backtracking from Dominic Szoboszlai. Maybe he heard some of the flack that he got off it from not only fans, but I think there was a couple of pundits as well that sort of voiced their disapproval of his behaviour. But, you live and you learn, and sometimes you just need to take a step back. Yeah, as I said earlier on in another post, just learn to read the room a bit. But yeah, he does apologise, urges fans to get behind the team tonight. Listen, there'll be no shortage of Liverpool fans getting behind Liverpool tonight as they face PSG. That's not the Liverpool way. The fans will be 100% behind the club. I'm sure there'll be a great atmosphere. And if Dominic Szoboszlai comes up with a goal or two, I'm sure all will be forgiven. So, don't stress over it, Dominic. Just one of those things. You live and you learn. Yep, you live and you learn, Dominic. So another story that's just, it's just not going away. It's just not going away. And I don't know whether it's been perpetrated by Liverpool fans and fan channels and things like that. I have noticed a couple of things in the media, a lot of people talking about it. But this time, Xabi Alonso's future lies at Anfield, claims Spanish reports, no doubts. It seems these sort of reporting about Alonso at Anfield seems to be going on a lot more in the foreign press, let's say, than it is in the English media. I know a lot of Liverpool fan channels are calling for Alonso to be at Anfield for the start of next season. His record at Real Madrid wasn't too bad, in fairness, and I think he just fell foul of the Real Madrid toxic culture. I mean, it really is a toxic club, Real Madrid. I think he fell foul of that, to be quite honest. He's not a bad coach, that's for sure. We know that from his time in German football. Yeah, but for Liverpool, well, we have to be looking for a manager in the first place, don't we? And all the noise and all the sounds coming from FSG does not suggest that Liverpool are actually in the market for another manager for the start of next season. Quite the contrary, to be quite honest. It looks like Liverpool are quite happy to let Arne Slot start next season and be the manager at the start of next season, because they think that some things been unlucky for Arne Slot. Some things have gone on that haven't been in his control. And he has won the Premiership at his first time of asking. And that's been sort of mooted around now a little bit as well, to try and say, well, Arne Slot has won the Premiership title for the first time of asking, where it took Jurgen Klopp quite a while. So, yeah, I'm not happy with that, because the situation is completely different than when Klopp took over Liverpool. And Arne Slot has mentioned a couple of times in his interviews and his press conferences that what the Liverpool sort of expect, we need to lower our expectations a little bit. Do you remember that in that press conference? Sort of lower your expectations a little bit, that you have only won the Premiership twice in so many years. Yeah, that's a bit rough if you ask me. It's a bit of manipulation of the stats, which, lots of people like to misuse stats to show teams are not doing so well or teams are doing so well. So we also had his press conference, not Klopp. So Slot's also had his press conference, and and he said that anybody knows me knows that I don't send my teams out to play a low block and try and defend. He was talking about the Paris Saint-Germain first leg game, where there was a lot of criticism coming from a lot of quarters, a lot of fans and a lot of pundits, that Klopp on the brain, that Slot had sent out Liverpool to sort of try and defend against PSG in the first leg, and possibly a bit of damage limitation to get the match back to Liverpool and take it from there. Slot completely denies this. He says that he does not send his teams out to defend, and that he thought, in his eyes, that Liverpool were pressing Paris. Liverpool were pressing Paris Saint-Germain all over the pitch, and it's only because Paris Saint-Germain are such a good team that they got through Liverpool's press, and that's what lost us the game. Now, I must have watched a completely different game, to be quite honest, but that's Arne Slot's talk about it. And anyway, in the press conference, there's a couple of other things. He was asked a couple of questions about what gives him the confidence to think that Liverpool can overcome the 2-0 deficit, because Liverpool are not really playing too well. And he gave a really bit of a defensive answer, and he pointed out to the times that Liverpool have overcome 2-0 games and things like that. Yeah, there's a couple of things I didn't like about the press conference. I think he's actually really passive aggressive, Arne Slot. He comes across as this smiling fella, but I think he's very defensive. There's a couple of things. He's very defensive. I think he's very passive aggressive in the way he takes these press conferences, and he tried to make a couple of jokes, and I don't think they were funny, to be quite honest with you. I thought they were a bit snide and a bit sort of what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know what word I'm looking for, but it just doesn't come across. It doesn't come across as funny. It comes across as being quite difficult and passive aggressive is the only word I'm looking for that I can figure that he can sort of suit the situation in the press conferences. Yeah, so not really great from Arne Slot again, but there you go. His press conferences don't surprise me at all. They've been disappointing all season, and we just had another disappointing one. Yeah, so there we go. Arne Slot, passive aggressive in his press conferences, a bit smarmy. That's the word, smarmy. He's a bit smarmy when he tries to laugh off certain things. It doesn't come across as funny. It comes across as smarmy. Yeah, Alonso to Liverpool. Liverpool have to be looking for another manager, for Alonso to have a job to go to. And at the moment, it doesn't look like Liverpool are looking for another manager. Szoboszlai apologises. Yeah, very well and done. Words are cheap. Let's see it on the pitch tonight as Liverpool take on Paris Saint-Germain in the second leg of the quarter-final of the Champions League. No doubt, if Szoboszlai puts in a great performance, all will be forgiven. All will be forgiven. Yeah. Anyway, that's it. Just a little news roundup from Fans Banter. Looking forward to the game tonight. Hope you enjoy the game wherever you are. And that's Fans Banter.